Welcome, gents. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Will Rogers. A Sigma male understands this truth better than most. He's not driven by trends, status symbols, or the need for approval. While the world encourages mindless consumption, convincing people they need the latest gadgets, luxury brands, and overpriced experiences to feel important, he sees through the illusion. His money isn't wasted on things that don't serve him. Every purchase has a purpose, every decision is intentional, and he never buys into the idea that material possessions define his worth. This isn't about being frugal or avoiding luxury. A Sigma male values quality over quantity, function over hype, and independence over social validation. He invests in things that last, things that improve his life, and things that align with his principles. If something doesn't add real value, he simply walks away. He refuses to be controlled by marketing tactics, peer pressure, or the fear of missing out. In a world obsessed with appearances, a Sigma male thrives by standing apart. He understands that true confidence isn't found in what you own, but in who you are. While others chase approval through unnecessary spending, he builds a life on his own terms, uncompromised, unshaken, and completely free. If you want to walk the Sigma path, it starts with a mindset shift. Stop buying into the lies and start investing in what truly matters. Let's get started, gents. Number 1, credit card debt for impressing others. A Sigma male refuses to fall into the trap of spending money he doesn't have just to impress people he doesn't care about. He sees right through the illusion that society has built around material status. The flashy cars, designer brands, and extravagant nights out, all funded by credit card debt. To him, it's a dangerous game, one that too many people play without realizing they're setting themselves up for financial slavery. He understands the psychology behind it, the pressure to keep up, the fear of looking like you have less than others, the need to prove success through visible wealth. But he doesn't play by those rules. He values financial freedom more than temporary validation. While others swipe their cards recklessly, digging themselves deeper into debt for the sake of appearances, he operates with discipline. If he can't afford it, he doesn't buy it. If he does buy something, it's because it serves a real purpose, not because he wants to impress anyone. He watches as people drown themselves in monthly payments, living paycheck to paycheck just to maintain an illusion. They finance cars they can't afford, max out credit cards on luxury items, and rack up debt for vacations they post online to make their lives look better than they actually are. Meanwhile, he moves in silence, accumulating wealth instead of liabilities. For him, financial power is about control, not display. The ability to make choices without being tied to debt is worth more than any designer label or luxury purchase. While others chase fleeting admiration, he builds a foundation that ensures long-term stability. He knows that real success isn't about what people think he has, it's about the freedom he actually possesses. And that kind of wealth can't be bought with a credit card. Number 2, lavish weddings and extravagant proposals. A Sigma male doesn't need fireworks, grand gestures, or a crowd's applause to prove his love or commitment. He sees relationships as deep personal connections, not performances for social media or a spectacle for distant relatives. The idea of spending an absurd amount of money on a wedding or an extravagant proposal doesn't align with his values. To him, love isn't about a flashy ring, a viral-worthy engagement, or a wedding that puts him in debt. It's about the bond, the understanding, and the journey with the right person. He watches as society pressures men into believing that the size of the ring defines the depth of their love, that the venue, the dress, and the guest list somehow determine the success of a marriage. He sees men drain their savings, take out loans, and throw themselves into financial stress, all for a day that in reality benefits everyone except the couple. Florists, planners, photographers, and luxury venues profit while the newlyweds step into their future weighed down by debt. Sigma males refuse to play that game. Instead of an extravagant proposal, he values a real intimate moment, something genuine, free from outside expectations. Instead of a wedding designed to impress, he chooses something meaningful, whether it's a quiet ceremony or an experience that truly reflects the couple's bond. He knows that a strong foundation in a relationship isn't built on spectacle, but on trust, shared goals, and a deep understanding of each other. He also understands that true commitment isn't about a single day, it's about every day that follows. He invests in the relationship itself, not the illusion of it. While others chase perfection in a wedding, he focuses on building a life that doesn't need validation from a guest list or approval from strangers. To him, love is not a performance, it's a choice, a commitment, and a quiet strength that doesn't need a stage. Number 3. Trendy designer clothes. A Sigma male has no interest in chasing fashion trends or wearing overpriced designer brands just to make a statement. He understands that most of the luxury fashion industry is built on hype, social pressure, and artificial status. People buy into it not because they need the clothes, but because they want the validation that comes with them. That game doesn't interest him. He doesn't dress to impress others. He dresses for himself with purpose and practicality in mind. He sees how people mindlessly follow trends, spending hundreds or even thousands on clothes that will be outdated within months. They buy into the illusion that a logo makes them more valuable, that wearing the right brand earns them respect. But he knows that real confidence isn't stitched into a designer label. It comes from within. Sigma males don't need to advertise their worth through clothing. They let their actions, intelligence, and presence speak for themselves. That's not to say he doesn't care about his appearance. He values quality, durability, and timeless style over fleeting trends. Instead of filling his wardrobe with overpriced hype pieces, he invests in well-made, versatile clothing that lasts. His choices are deliberate, free from the influence of marketing gimmicks and celebrity endorsements. If he buys something, it's because it serves a function, not because it's trending. While others chase the latest releases and show off their expensive purchases, he remains indifferent. He doesn't need external validation to feel secure in himself. He knows that the power of a man isn't in the brand he wears, but in the way he carries himself. To him, trendy designer clothes are just another distraction, one he has no time or money to waste on. Number 4, cheap, low-quality products. A Sigma male has no interest in wasting money on cheap, low-quality products that break, wear out, or become useless within months. He understands that buying cheap often means buying twice, and he refuses to fall into that cycle. Instead, he prioritizes value over price, always looking for durability, functionality, and long-term reliability. If he spends money on something, he expects it to serve him well for years, not just for the moment. He sees how people are conditioned to chase discounts, fast fashion, and mass-produced junk, believing they're saving money when, in reality, they're just throwing it away little by little. They fill their homes with cheaply made furniture that falls apart, buy shoes that wear out in weeks, and replace the same electronics over and over because they opted for the lowest price instead of the best quality. Sigma males refuse to participate in this endless cycle of disposable consumerism. They choose carefully, invest wisely, and avoid cluttering their lives with things that have no lasting value. That doesn't mean they always buy the most expensive option. Price and quality aren't the same thing, and a Sigma male knows how to tell the difference. He does his research, looks for craftsmanship, and makes purchases that are built to last. Whether it's clothing, tools, technology, or even everyday essentials, he looks for things that serve a real purpose and won't need constant replacing. To him, this mindset isn't just about saving money. It's about efficiency, self-reliance, and avoiding unnecessary distractions. He doesn't want to waste time fixing or replacing things that should have been built to last in the first place. He values simplicity, not excess, and understands that owning fewer high-quality items is far more rewarding than constantly cycling through cheap disposable junk. While others chase temporary bargains, he invests in longevity, proving once again that his decisions are guided by logic, not impulse. Number 5, expensive nightclub tables and bottle service. A Sigma male has zero interest in spending absurd amounts of money just to sit at a table in a crowded nightclub, surrounded by people who are more focused on appearances than genuine connections. He sees right through the illusion, the overpriced bottles, the artificial status, the desperate need for validation disguised as luxury. It's a game built on ego, and he refuses to play it. Nightclubs thrive on making people believe they're part of something exclusive. They sell the illusion that paying for a table surrounded by strangers who barely acknowledge each other somehow elevates a person's worth. But a Sigma male doesn't seek approval from a room full of people who wouldn't notice if he disappeared the next day. He doesn't need a VIP section to feel important. His confidence isn't tied to flashing lights, loud music, or a bottle of overpriced champagne. He watches as men drop thousands of dollars just to impress women who are only there for the free drinks, and flex for other men who are doing the exact same thing. He sees people pretending to have the time of their lives while secretly checking their bank balance the next morning, regretting the impulsive decision to chase validation. None of this interests him. He values experiences that are real, not manufactured for social media or empty bragging rights. If he chooses to go out, it's on his own terms, never to seek status, but to enjoy himself in a way that actually matters. He would rather spend his time in places where conversations have depth, where people are authentic, and where he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He understands that real confidence doesn't come from a reserved table in a nightclub. It comes from knowing exactly who you are, with or without the spotlight. Number 6. You're not an open book, you're a locked safe. Most people can't help themselves. They meet someone new and within minutes they're spilling their entire life story, past mistakes, future dreams, family drama, and everything in between. They crave connection so badly that they hand over their personal details like free samples at a grocery store. But you're different. You understand something most people don't. Mystery is power. You don't give people easy access to your thoughts, your emotions, or your next move. Not because you're hiding anything, but because you know that information is valuable and not everyone deserves it. While others rush to be understood, you let people wonder. And that makes you unforgettable. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. If someone can read you like an open book, they get bored fast. But when they can't quite figure you out, when they sense there's more to you, but they're not sure what, that's when curiosity kicks in. And curiosity keeps people intrigued. That's why your presence carries weight. When you speak, people listen, because they know you don't waste words. When you reveal something about yourself, it matters, because they know you don't do it lightly. This kind of restraint isn't just rare, it's magnetic. But here's what really sets you apart. You're not withholding information out of fear. You're doing it because you can. You control what people see, what they know, and how they perceive you. That kind of control isn't just a habit, it's a skill. One that keeps you protected, unpredictable, and always one step ahead. So don't let anyone convince you that being private is a weakness. In a world where everyone overshares, your ability to hold back is exactly what makes you stand out. Number 7, subscription to mainstream media. A Sigma male does not blindly consume mainstream media because he understands its true purpose: to control narratives, shape opinions, and keep the masses distracted. He sees how news outlets, entertainment networks, and social media platforms push agendas designed to manipulate emotions rather than inform. They flood people's minds with fear, division, and superficial distractions, all while claiming to deliver truth. But a Sigma male doesn't buy into it. He refuses to let someone else dictate how he thinks, what he should care about, or what version of reality he should believe. He values independent thought above all else. Instead of passively accepting what's presented to him, he questions everything. He digs deeper, cross-references sources, and seeks out perspectives that aren't controlled by corporate interests. He knows that mainstream media thrives on engagement, not accuracy. The more sensational, the more divisive, the more emotionally charged a story is, the more profitable it becomes. Facts become secondary to clicks, ratings, and political influence. Sigma males see through the illusion and refuse to be another pawn in the game. He also understands how media consumption affects the mind. Constant exposure to negativity, outrage, and misinformation creates stress, anxiety, and mental clutter. He refuses to let his thoughts be hijacked by fear-based reporting or empty celebrity gossip. Instead, he carefully curates what he consumes, focusing on knowledge that enriches his mind rather than corrupts it. While others are glued to their screens, endlessly scrolling, reacting, and arguing over stories designed to provoke, he remains detached. He does not let propaganda, trends, or political spin dictate his worldview. He forms his own conclusions based on logic, research, and first-hand experience. A Sigma male would rather be informed than indoctrinated, and that's why he refuses to waste his time or money on mainstream media's manufactured reality. Number 8, the latest tech just to keep up. A Sigma male doesn't fall for the endless cycle of tech upgrades that so many people blindly chase. He sees how companies manipulate consumers, releasing slightly improved versions of the same devices year after year, convincing them that they need the latest model to stay relevant. But he's not interested in impressing anyone with a brand new gadget. If what he has still works, he sees no reason to replace it. He watches as people line up for hours, spending ridiculous amounts of money on a phone that does almost the same thing as the one they already own. They justify it by saying it's faster or has a slightly better camera, but deep down, many of them are just afraid of falling behind. Society has conditioned them to believe that owning the latest tech equals status, intelligence, and success. But a Sigma male doesn't measure himself by what's in his pocket. He measures himself by his knowledge, skills, and independence. That doesn't mean he's against technology. He values efficiency and understands the importance of good tools, but he refuses to buy into the culture of unnecessary upgrades. He invests in tech that serves a real purpose, choosing function over hype. If he upgrades, it's because his device no longer meets his needs, not because a corporation tells him it's time. He sees the bigger picture. While others chase every new release, wasting money on minor improvements, he focuses on things that actually matter. He doesn't need the latest phone, smartwatch, or laptop to prove his worth. His mindset is different. He's not here to keep up with trends. He's here to stay ahead in ways that actually count. Number 9, dating apps with subscription fees. A Sigma male has no interest in paying for a dating app subscription to increase his chances of finding a match. He sees the entire system for what it really is, a business model designed to keep people swiping rather than actually forming genuine connections. These platforms thrive on artificial scarcity, making users feel like they need to pay just to be seen, all while feeding them an endless cycle of surface-level interactions. A Sigma male doesn't play into that. He doesn't rely on an algorithm to determine his value or match him with someone based on a formula. He understands that real chemistry can't be manufactured through a screen or optimized through premium features. Instead of wasting time and money boosting his profile, he invests in himself, his skills, his passions, his personal growth. He knows that by becoming the best version of himself, the right people will naturally gravitate toward him. He also recognizes the deeper problem with modern dating apps. They encourage people to see each other as disposable options, reducing human connection to nothing more than a swipe. There's no depth, no effort, just an endless cycle of judging and being judged. That's not how a Sigma male operates. He values authenticity, and he refuses to let his social life be dictated by a platform designed for mindless engagement rather than meaningful relationships. If he meets someone, it's through real-world interactions, through shared interests, chance encounters, or meaningful conversations. He trusts his instincts and his ability to read people, not a system that prioritizes engagement over genuine compatibility. While others rely on paid subscriptions to improve their odds in a game they didn't design, a Sigma male walks away entirely, knowing that real connection can't be bought. Number 10, gym memberships they won't use. A Sigma male doesn't waste money on a gym membership he knows he won't use. He's not the type to sign up for an overpriced fitness club just because it looks prestigious or because everyone else is doing it. He understands that health and fitness are a personal commitment, not something that magically happens just because he pays a monthly fee. If he works out, he does it with purpose and efficiency, not as part of some social trend. He sees how people fall into the trap of expensive gym memberships, convincing themselves that spending money will keep them motivated. They join elite fitness centers with fancy equipment, spa amenities, and juice bars, yet barely show up after the first few weeks. To a Sigma male, this is just another example of people mistaking image for action. He doesn't need a luxury environment to push himself. If he's serious about fitness, he'll train wherever it makes the most sense, at home, outdoors, or in a no-nonsense gym that focuses on results rather than status. He values efficiency over appearance, and that applies to his workouts too. He doesn't waste time standing around, scrolling through his phone, or waiting for machines in a crowded gym. If he exercises, it's because he's disciplined enough to do it without relying on external motivation. He doesn't need a contract, an expensive personal trainer, or high-tech fitness gear to stay in shape. He builds strength and endurance in the way that works best for him, on his own terms. While others throw money at the idea of fitness without putting in real effort, a Sigma male takes a different approach. He doesn't buy into the illusion that paying for something equals progress. He knows that real results come from consistency and discipline, not from an unused membership card sitting in his wallet. Number 11. Subscription boxes of random junk. A Sigma male doesn't fall for the illusion of excitement that comes in a neatly packaged subscription box. The idea of paying every month for a collection of random items, most of which he'll never use, feels like a trap disguised as convenience. Marketers know how to sell the thrill of surprise, making people believe they're getting something exclusive, something special. But to a Sigma male, it's just another way to clutter his space and drain his wallet. He values intentionality in everything he does, including what he brings into his life. He doesn't need a curated box of novelty gadgets, gimmicky self-care products, or cheaply made accessories that serve no real purpose. He knows that most of these subscriptions are designed to hook people into a cycle of unnecessary consumption, where they keep spending just to receive things they never asked for in the first place. The excitement wears off in minutes, but the habit of accumulating junk lingers. Instead of mindlessly collecting things, he invests in what actually adds value. If he wants something, he buys it with purpose, not because it was randomly selected for him in a subscription box. He prefers quality over quantity, usefulness over novelty. Every item he owns has a reason to be there, and if it doesn't serve a function, he sees no point in keeping it. He also recognizes the subtle manipulation behind these services. They prey on people's fear of missing out, making them feel like they're part of an exclusive club just for subscribing. But a Sigma male doesn't seek validation in belonging to trends. He doesn't need a monthly box of mystery items to feel excitement or fulfillment. His focus is on things that matter: self-growth, independence, and experiences that truly enrich his life. Everything else, especially meaningless junk wrapped in clever marketing, is just noise. A Sigma male's choices aren't dictated by trends, social pressure, or the need to impress anyone. He doesn't spend money to prove his worth, nor does he fall for the illusions that keep most people trapped in cycles of empty consumption. Every decision he makes is intentional, guided by logic, self-respect, and the understanding that real value isn't found in things. It's found in independence, wisdom, and the ability to think for himself. In a world that constantly tries to sell people a false sense of success, he refuses to play along. He doesn't chase status, he doesn't buy into gimmicks, and he certainly doesn't spend his hard-earned money on things that don't serve a real purpose. While others seek validation through luxury, labels, and fleeting trends, he remains grounded in what actually matters: functionality, efficiency, and self-reliance. This isn't about being cheap or rejecting material things altogether. A Sigma male understands the value of quality and isn't afraid to invest in what truly enhances his life. But he doesn't need unnecessary luxuries to feel powerful, and he won't waste his time or resources on things designed to trap people in the illusion of success. His mindset is different, his path is his own, and that's what sets him apart. The world will always try to convince you that you need more stuff, more recognition, more distractions. But a Sigma male knows better. He stays focused, sharp, and in control, knowing that the less he's weighed down by meaningless possessions, the freer he truly is. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.